Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, I move the motion for the resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to the late Honourable Alupo Faith, woman representative, Palisa District, for her dedicated service to the Parliament, to the nation. It's moved under Rule 55 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, and it goes as follows. Whereas Parliament of Uganda received with grief the sad news of the demise of Honourable Alupo Faith, woman representative, Palisa District, which occurred on the 15th of September 2020 at Mulago Hospital. And whereas aware that Honourable Alupo Faith joined Parliament in June 2018 and diligently served on the Appointments Committee and the Committee of Tourism on Tourism, Trade and Industry. Noting that prior to Honourable Alupo's Faith joining Parliament in 2018, she served as an electoral commission as a sub-county election officer, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, and field interviewer, and worked as a field worker for the probation office in Machindi Division, positions she devotedly and diligently served. Appreciating that Honourable Alupo Faith was a humble, hard-working and a diligent legislator who was passionate about her work and ably represented and served the people of Palisa, now therefore be it resolved by Parliament as follows: that Parliament collectively conveys its deep condolence to the bereaved family, the people of Palisa District, and the entire country for the loss of a distinguished daughter of Uganda. That Parliament takes cognizance of the distinguished service rendered and the contribution made by Honourable Alupo Faith to the people of Palisa and Uganda as a whole. Mover, Right Honourable Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business in Parliament. I'm representing him here. And by courtesy, Honourable Ochan Betty, Leader of the Opposition in Parliament. And also Honourable Baryayanga Andrew Aja, MUP Kavali, Municipality Representative of the Independents. I beg.
Is the motion seconded? Motion is seconded. Justify.
It is seconded by the Leader of the Opposition.
No, please. Yeah, justify. You cannot speak to the motion.
Okay. Madam Speaker, this is the justification for a motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to the late Honorable Alupo Faith, who has been a woman member of Parliament for Palisa District. Madam Speaker and the colleagues, we are yet again here in a sad mood to pay tribute to our fallen colleague, Honorable Alupo Faith, who passed away on Tuesday, 15th September 2020. This sad news has left the country and all of us in deep sorrow. Madam Speaker, in 2018, the government effected a split of Palisa District, creating Butembo District from part of its territory. The incumbent woman member of Parliament for the district, Agnes Amede, decided to remain as a representative of Butembo, leaving the position of Palisa women member of Parliament vacant. Honorable Alupo Faith won the by-election on the National Resistance Movement ticket and has been diligently representing the people of Palisa since her election in June 2018. She breathed her last on Tuesday morning from Lago Hospital, where she had been receiving treatment for high blood pressure and diabetes. Between 2007 and 2008, she began her first job as a field worker at the probation office in Machinde Division. From 2008 to 2009, she worked as a field interviewer at the Uganda Bureau of Statistics. From 2010 to 2011, she started work with Electoral Commission as a sub-county election officer, Palisa District. She joined Parliament as a district woman representative for Palisa from 2018 up to the time of her passing. The late Alupo Faith died at a time when we needed her most, at 36 years, and being a first timer in Parliament. There is a lot we expected from her. She was a good cadre of the National Resistance Movement philosophy, who was deployed on the committees of tourism, trade and industry, where she advanced the development of the entire country above her own interest, placing above self the well-being of the people that she and all of us represent in Parliament. The late Honorable Alupo Faith is applauded and will be missed by all of us. As dedicated in the scriptures, Hebrew 6:10, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people. She was indeed a reliable committed, respectable, dependable, dedicated, and a committed servant of Uganda. We shall surely miss her. Honorable Alupo Faith was born on the 9th October, that was Independence Day, in 1983. Completed her primary leaving examination at Palisa Girls Primary School in 1997. In 2001, Alupo attained her Uganda Certificate of Education at Pearl and Lisa College in 2003. She obtained a Uganda Advanced Certificate at Murijibai Madivani College, Wairaka. She completed her bachelor's degree in social works and social administration at Uganda Christian University, Mukono, in 2007. After 4 years, in 2011, she joined the Law Development Center, Kampala, and attained a certificate in law practice. Honorable Alupo Faith is survived by her husband and her two children. We extend our deep condolence and sympathies to the family, friends, constituency, and the country at large. May the Almighty God rest the soul of Honorable Alupo in eternal peace.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister. Can I invite the Leader of Opposition?
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm up to second the motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to the late Honorable Faith Alupo. At the age of 37 only, the cruel hand of death has robbed us of young leader who represented her people in this Parliament. As a social scientist, Honorable Alupo was passionate about matters to do with women and children. The deceased legislator had been receiving treatment for blood pressure and diabetes during her admission at hospital. However, the cruel hand of death could not spare her life. Her sudden death is a big blow to the family and to the people of Palisa and Uganda at large, because she had clearly started embarking on various projects to help her constituents. To the family of the deceased, kindly accept our commiserations. We mourn with you. Honorable Alupo, your curtain has drawn. Your life on earth has ended. Our only prayer is for your family and friends to remain strong during this moment of trials. Honorable Alupo, fare thee well. May God rest her soul in peace.
Thank you very much, Honorable for Opposition. Can I invite Honorable Maria Yanga for the Independents?
Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister, honorable members of Parliament, of this august House, the family of the late Honorable Arupo, the people of Palisa, on behalf of the people of Kabaale Municipality, the independent members of Parliament, and on my own behalf, I commiserate with all of you and the country at large on the passing of our dear colleague, Honorable Faith Arupo. Honorable Arupo's death came as a shock to me, and I believe to many others too. She was a young lady at only 36, 37 years of age. Indeed, Uganda has lost a resource in her as a legislator and a social worker. In her short time in Parliament, I understand she had embarked on various projects to help her constituents in Palisa. I wish to commend her for her noble service. She was committed to her party NRM and served diligently as a member on the Committee of Tourism, Trade and Industry. We can perhaps speak a leaf from her calm demeanor and diligence. Rest in peace, fallen colleague.
Thank you very much, the mover and the seconders. Honorable Arupo was on the Committee of Trade. Can I invite the Chair of the Committee on Trade to make his tribute?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Just as the mover of the motion and the seconders have said, we are going to miss Honorable Arupo. She has been a friendly person, calm, and willing to learn. I didn't know she was such a young person. I thought she was a little bit older than what I've just heard, 36 years old. On behalf of the Committee of Tourism, Trade and Industry, we are saddened by the death of Arupo. In fact, it took us long to believe that she had passed on. When she was seconded to the Committee of Tourism, Trade and Industry, she came and asked me if I could help her settle in and learn how to deliberate, first of all in the committee and on the floor of Parliament. So humbly that we accepted, and we managed to pass through the rules and part of the Constitution. And she was so happy. So then I wondered, why was she so happy? Then I began to inquire as to how she managed to come to Parliament. And she narrated to me her humble background. Unlike us who grew up here in town, Honorable Arupo grew up in Palisa, and she did not know much of what goes on around the rest of the country. So this was, when she came to Parliament, was as a shock to her, and she took it very humbly and thankful to the people of Palisa. She was learning, and she was quick to learn. She used to sit somewhere behind there around this COVID time, and she used to attend almost every session. Then one day I went to her and asked, why are you attending almost all sessions in the week around COVID time? Then she said, like many of the MPs who come from up country, is that when you come to town, to Kampala, to deliberate, you have to stay for some time. Even when it is urgent that you must go back to Palisa, because it's a long distance and you have to work on your car, work on the people you work with. And she said, I spend the whole week here, then I go back. So those days I'm here, I must attend Parliament, whether I'm on the list or not. And lastly, we talked to her, I talked to her around COVID time. And we wished each other so well that please, let's go for primaries. And we wish each other well. When we come back, we should come back successful. So little did I know that I will not find the person who wished me well, and I wished her well. So on behalf of the committee, we say, rest in peace. We shall miss you. This has been an active member both in the field, locally and abroad, and willing to learn, and simple, and working for the people of Palisa. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving us space, like the Committee of Tourism, Trade and Industry. We shall miss her. I hope we meet in heaven. Thank you, Right Speaker.
Thank you, honourable members. Honourable Namuyangu, let me start from this side. Namuyangu, Opendi, Macho, the predecessor, Amede, Jova, Honourable Veronica, Otieno, then I'll come this side. Oh, okay, I'll come like this. 3 minutes each, please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. On behalf of the people of Chibuku and on behalf of the local government fraternity, I register my condolences to the people of Palisa, to the Parliament of Uganda, and to the people of Uganda for the loss of a younger legislator, a true African woman, very humble and true to her word. Honorable Arupo would maintain a smile even under difficult conditions. We are going to miss her. And this is a person who has been very, very loyal to the NRM party. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I remember when we were in Chankwanza as NRM, Honorable Arupo came. She was very heavy. She even started feeling the labor pains in Chankwanzi. But she was there to support the party, to learn more, without even looking at the condition she was in. The people of Paris are going to miss her. She's a person who has acted with a lot of humility. You would never see her conflicting with anybody. And we are going to miss her. Right Honorable Speaker, as a matter of concern, I have been in my constituency, and I noted Chibuku, we had initially 2 cases of COVID, but these were prisoners, young boys, who had been put in prison in another district. And after picking samples from them, they were released to come and mix with the community without getting the results out. Then after like a week, they mentioned that these boys were positive and instructed the DHO to come and look for them. One of the sources of the spread of COVID are inmates. And I believe as government we need to do something. But the other one is also the politics. Most of our people in the rural areas have not believed that COVID is with us. They want people to do rallies, they want to hug, they still even use their hands to, they think when they said no more shaking of hands, they left them now to continue. So it's a bit very, very risky. The burials, the way they are attended in the villages, is as if things are still normal. So we still have to do serious sensitization to the communities to fight the disease. Right Honorable Face has left a young family of 2 young children. I know we are paying tribute, but what do we do to support the family thereafter? This is something I will leave to everybody, but it's very, very prudent that we stand with the family, we support the family, especially the young children that have been left behind. May the good Lord rest her soul in peace and sustain the family.
Thank you. As I invite Honorable Pendi, I just want to inform the House, first, it's a difficult situation. Mr. Ochom is not able to attend this special sitting. He's under quarantine. But other relatives are here. I want to introduce Mr. Richard Omut. That's the uncle to Mr. Ochom. I want to introduce Ismail Omoding, the brother to Honorable Faith Alupo. I want to introduce Ms. Marion Chakua. Marion is the sister of Honorable, I think she has gone out. Then the young children, Emma Malinga, this is that one there. Israel Ochom, the other boy, they've gone out with their sister. So these are the children. Welcome them and commiserate with them. I think we shall take up what Honorable Namyangu has asked us to do. Let me invite Honorable Pendi, followed by Honorable Macho, and maybe in that order.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on my behalf and on behalf of the people of Tororo, I want to extend my condolences to the family, to the people of Palisa, and to this Parliament for the loss of one of us, the Honorable Faith Alupo. Right Honorable Speaker, when I received this message, it was just after our primaries. I was with a number of my agents, and then I started asking myself, because the first message that came through, Right Honorable Speaker, was that our colleague had succumbed to COVID-19. Something that I did not believe. I started asking myself, where did she get this from? Because I know Palisa as one of the low-risk districts. And if we are to go by the statistics that we have currently, it's still one of the districts with the lowest number of COVID cases within Bukedi region. I therefore wondered and said something could have gone wrong until I received the information about the high blood pressure and the diabetes that our colleague had. But Right Honorable Speaker, what again puzzled me or disturbed my mind, I was here with Honorable Faith just before we went for the primaries. I think the very last meeting we had here, we joked with her, with a number of colleagues, and I was telling her, are you telling me that I should prepare another mama kit? Just jokingly. And then she said, yes, go and prepare. But we talked over her situation, and then I said, I hope you go through the primaries successfully, because when you are in that state, heavy, it's sometimes not easy. I therefore want to really extend my condolences to the family. It's a very young family. The children are young. They may not even understand what is actually going on. And therefore we really need to pray for them, because I strongly believe after a certain time, these young children will start asking where their mother has gone. As of now, it may look normal and they think, as usual, she could have traveled and may be coming back. But Right Honorable Speaker, this leaves us who are living. One second, and
Please conclude.
Right Honourable Speaker, this is something that the Ministry of Health has often told us. We have the non-communicable diseases with us, and therefore a lot of care needs to be taken once you have these diseases. And specifically now that we have COVID, this is actually a high risk factor for those with the NCDs to take extra precaution. We don't know where she could have picked this from. We don't know whether it was, I don't know whether it was really COVID. But these conditions, the NCDs, are a high risk factor for COVID. To the people of Palisa, you've lost a very young, able legislator who still had, she was still full of life. And we still, although I heard she did not make it through the last NRM primaries, I strongly believe she had other plans and could still serve this country in other capacities. With those few remarks, I want to say that may the Lord grant the family strength and the people, the friends and relatives, so that they can overcome this grief. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Macho, 3 minutes, followed by the Honourable Nyebe, 3 minutes.
Right Honourable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Busia Municipality, I would like to bring my condolences for my beloved sister. Faith Alupo was a great friend and who turned to be a sister at last. I want to thank the parents of Alupo that they gave birth of a daughter who had a character that is admired by everybody. The people of Palisa, I want to strengthen you and the family that you have lost a mother, a sister, and a friend of women and children. Many times, my sister would stand on the floor of Parliament. She would talk on issues concerning children and women. You have lost a mother as Palisa. And as a party NRM, I know we have lost a cadre. We last talked when we are all going for primaries. And she was saying, Macho, will you make it? I said, I'll try to make it, but you know what happens in our party sometimes. But however, God has called her at the time when the party wanted her more. Right Honourable Speaker and my colleagues, in Samia we believe the dead talk to God. I want to send my sister Faith Alupo to God, to tell God that she has gone, but still up to now, we have not got a ministerial statement related to COVID-19 in this country. My sister, secondly, I want to send you to tell God that the accountability of COVID-19 funds that were donated by Ugandans and friends of Uganda and international bodies has not been accounted in this country up to now. At the time when the quarantine center in Busia, Davani still lacks food, lacks even water and even sanitary towels for the women who are detained there. But Mr. Speaker, we used it detained there because quarantine centers in this country are like a torture chambers. Because we cannot have more than 20, 50 people at a quarantine center and they are given almost 100,000 to survive on for a full month. I therefore pray that as politics is running, leaders, we should think about our people. I remember my party chairman, President Museveni, said when it comes at such a time when COVID is spreading at a high rate, something will be done on politics. But we have been in this political dance for the last 2 months. It is very difficult to differentiate a rally and very difficult to implement SOPs on a political rally. And lastly, Madam Speaker, as leaders, people, as I summarize, but call upon government to be clear on death related to COVID-19. Because I listened attentively from the Right Honourable Prime Minister. In his statement, he never talked about the cause of the death of my sister Alupo. And me, I think it will be very clear for government to tell us what has killed our sister Alupo. And what has killed our sister Alupo should define why is his dear husband in the quarantine at such a time when he would have had words of encouragement from us legislators in this country. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Ahmed, I also want to inform the family and the House that there's a condolence message from the Government Chief Whip to the members of the family. On behalf of the Parliamentary Caucus, she has enclosed 1 million shillings. It will be given to the family. Honorable Ahmed, then Honorable Jova Kamateka, Honorable Veronica, Honorable Otieno, then we get Honorable Lucy Akelo on Zoom, then I come to Mili Mugeni, Asamo, and decide.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. On my own behalf and on the behalf of the people of Butevo and the parent district of Palisa, it is with shock that I learned about the death of Honorable Alupo, since we had not known that she was unwell. I first met Honorable Alupo in 2014 as one of the contestants for Woman Member of Parliament at a local church fundraising. I extended my greeting to her, and she replied with a smile and gentility. The smile and gentility defines her personality. No wonder when I opted to relocate to Butevo district, she became the people's preferred choice to become Woman Member of Parliament for Butevo district. Faith was that easy person, embodying a life that is simple, a heart free of malice. It is sad that we from the greater Palisa have lost her. Like many of us, she had ambition. She looked forward to being in the 11th Parliament. Her demise should be a lesson for all of us here about the fragility of human life. As we seek re-election, we should conduct ourselves in a manner that doesn't impede basic fundamentals of humanity, thus promoting human rights, peace, unity, and love of our neighbors. That is when we will be at peace and indeed win ourselves a place of rest in God's kingdom. On my own behalf and on behalf of the people of the Greater Palisa, I would like to convey our gratitude to Parliament and to government for the management of Faith as a patient and for the funeral arrangements. We thank you so much. May her soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Honorable Jova Kamateka, followed by Honorable Veronica Isala, Honorable Otieno, Lucy Akelo, then I move that side.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'd like, on behalf of the people of Mitoma and on my own behalf, to convey our sincere condolences to the family, to the people of Palisa, to this Parliament, and to the people of Uganda on the sudden demise of Honorable Faith. It is so sad that we did not know that she was so young. Looking at Faith's build and stature, you'd not think that she was this young. And so really, it is so sad. Neither did we know that she was sick at all. So, as my colleagues have said, the news was shocking. Honorable Faith was humble. Honorable Faith was graceful. She was the epitome of what a member of Parliament should be. She carried herself well. These days we are so short of examples. Maybe I should not say that, but our young people out there
really, coming from this campaign that we have just experienced. Our young people need role models like Faith, and I hope that they do care to observe such role models so that they can also grow up to be persons of responsibility and persons that carry themselves with grace. For me, she always addressed me as Canon, and she always wore that smile, this signature smile that we all see on these booklets. And so she will go down, for me, she will go down as that humble person, as that person that carried themselves with grace, and as a cheerful person, as an encourager. 1 or 2 years in Parliament, one is still grappling with the issues and procedures of Parliament, but Faith was a quick learner, and she had started indeed representing her people very well. And as colleagues have said, she was passionate about women and children's issues, so we met a lot in these forums outside Parliament, and really we will miss her so much. I would like to say to the family that in Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I alone.
Okay, please conclude.
Jeremiah 21:11, the word of God says that I, God, I alone knows the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. It is so sad seeing these young children, the baby especially, but if we commit ourselves to God, God will fulfill his plans for this family. With those, may God grant her eternal peace and comfort and strengthen the family through this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Veronica Isada, then Honorable Otieno. Otieno will be followed by Honorable Akelo on Zoom, then I go to Mili Mugeni. I'm coming.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I support the motion to pay tribute, and I speak here first on my own behalf, secondly on behalf of the people of Kaberamaido County and District, and third, as I speak on behalf of the TESO Parliamentary Group, where I'm the Vice Chairperson. Madam Speaker, Faith Alupo was a member of the family of the TESO Parliamentary Group, although her original and geographical group was actually Bukedi region, but as a girl born an Etesot girl, she identified herself with the TESO Parliamentary Group. Madam Speaker, this is a very painful moment for TESO Parliamentary Group, for all of us members of Parliament, to lose such a young legislator. She is, like the Prime Minister has said, a loss to Uganda, a loss to the NRM party, but a loss to us who had a lot to share with us. As a member of TESO Parliamentary Group, Madam Speaker, Honorable Faith Alupo was a team player, very calm and really soft-spoken. She used to call me Honorable Mommy, and I have lost a honorable daughter. Madam Speaker, I really want to thank God for the short life of Faith and for giving her time to touch our lives, touch the lives of her family. Give us the 2 children that have survived her and her husband, and as a good example, because everybody here has said all the nice things about her. Madam Speaker, I want to bring in the TESO parliamentary group. We normally have a welfare group, and we have contributed 10 million as a contribution to help the family. Finally, I really want to thank you personally as the Speaker for making sure in this time that we are all running in different directions to make sure that we pay tribute to her on this day. And I want to ask and pray that the Almighty God rest her soul in eternal peace. Amen.
Thank you very much. Can I invite Honorable Otieno? Then Honorable Lucy Akero will come on Zoom, followed by Honorable Mbili Mogeni. I'm that side now. I've seen it.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Allow me, on behalf of the people of West Budama North, convey our heartfelt condolences first to the people of Palisa and to the bereaved young family that Honorable Lupo Faith has left behind. Right Honourable Speaker, we have lost a colleague and a mother, and I'm very sure, and I know, we all have a lot of pain in our hearts. And sometimes you are tempted to ask, why? Why at this time? Why us? Why is it that it is us, Parliament, to lose a colleague at this time? Madam Speaker, sometimes it's not very easy to answer such questions, but we only get comforted that Honorable Faith has only gone ahead of us. And probably she's going to prepare the way for us as a family. Honorable Faith meant a lot to the people of Palisa, and I go to share this with her during the NRM National Conference. I had to hitch a lift with the Honorable, a ride with the Honorable Alupo on my way from Nambole coming back, because I had parked my vehicle at Kireka. During that time there was a lot of commotion on the way. She gave me a lift. She just spotted me walking and she stopped. I did not stop her, she just stopped for me and asked, why are you walking? Let me take you. I told her my vehicle is parked somewhere. So let me take you to where your vehicle was. It was so courteous of her. We are not interacted so much. But the fact that she could have such a courtesy for a colleague tells a lot about the personality of Honorable Faith. In fact, I felt I was even inconveniencing her. She had other colleagues in the vehicle. She wanted to take them to their respective places, and she was still determined to take me to exactly the spot where my vehicle was parked. I said, Honorable, you've already done enough. I can move on from here. So colleagues, as Parliament, we have lost such a very courteous and a generous colleague.
Lucy Akelo on Zoom, and then Honorable Mili Mugeni, Honorable Samo Oroch Babadiri, think about it somewhere there. I'm coming like this. Bring in Honorable Akelo.
and our sister. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Amuru, allow me to convey my deepest condolences to the family of the Honorable Alupo and the people of Palisa, but above all, the Parliament of Uganda. Madam Speaker, it is very sad to speak to such emotion because we have lost a very young, humble legislator. Madam Speaker, I also want to note that the Honorable Faith is actually my birthday mate. I am older than her, but we are both independent children or babies. And I'm praying hard to God that God will allow me to reach my birthday this year, and perhaps in a very special way I will sing it for her and with her, because I know she has left us in body, but in spirit she's with us. I'm also saddened, but at the same time happy, Madam Speaker, that I was up to. These children may be young, but I have faith in God that they will grow to become perhaps even the next legislators for Uganda. For the book, the Holy Book in James says, true religion is a religion that looks after the orphans and the widows. So the onus is on us who are present and alive to always support the family, not just the children, but also the father, their father, because I know he must be going through a very difficult time. Madam Speaker, I just want to share one experience I had with the Honorable Alupo. One time I was just discussing the challenges and some of the activities that I have in the constituency in Amuru. And then she walks in and says, oh, Honorable, what are you talking about? Then I said, I'm just talking about the groups that I'm training in my constituency. And she said, can you share more with me so that I also go and do in Palisa? I really want to come back and I must do more. It is unfortunate that we never got to share afterwards, and unfortunate also that she lost. But the most unfortunate bit of it is that she is gone and no more. Madam Speaker, I want to encourage us. I know this is a very difficult time, but I want to encourage us to stay strong, but above all, pray for these children. As a pro-life person, Madam Speaker, I am proud of Honorable Faith because she has promoted life. And God has, oftentimes some people are afraid to carry a pregnancy, especially when we are in, big offices. But she carried it with so much joy. She carried it with that signature smile on her face. With this, I want to pray that the good Lord may grant our sister eternal rest.
Thank you, Honorable Mugeni. Then I will invite Honorable Paul to support the hospital. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Kaleja and my own behalf, I would like to convey my condolence to the family and to the people of Palisa District for the loss of their woman member of Parliament. Madam Speaker, as a whip of Bukit Sub-Region, I was so saddened by the death of our colleague who is also a member of Bukit Sub-Region Parliamentary Group. Madam Speaker, like the members have spoken, for some of us who are so close to Honorable Alupo, we know the humility she had. When I was looking through the order of service, I found out that Honorable Alupo is the daughter of a reverend. And therefore, I flashed back in my mind and said, okay, the good background of this member of parliament comes right from the background of their family. Madam Speaker, Honorable Alupo has been a very strong supporter of NRM, not just because she came on the NRM ticket, but what she would speak about the party would make you admire what she believes in. And as NRM, we have lost a very strong cadre, and the people of Palisa have lost a very good legislator. I used to joke with Honorable Lupo so much. We used to converse in Rugwere, and when she wanted to go to the district, she would ask me, Honorable Mire Chinonchi Korentia, meaning, how should I do this? And she would put on a smile with a joke, with what? She was really down to earth. She used to learn more. She would consult where she thought she had no knowledge about whatever she wanted to do. Madam Speaker, when I heard the Honorable Prime Minister presenting, I felt so sad that so many mothers are dying of non-communicable diseases, especially when it comes to pregnancies. I remember we were condoling about another member of parliament who died of similar circumstances, the former woman member of parliament for Iganga district. And we passed a resolution here and said that we must put a lot of, capacity building on the health workers to sensitize Ugandans on these non-communicable diseases. And as members of parliament, since we have a lot of challenges, I'm seeing a lot of risk in the parliament of Uganda, that many of us are at risk of dying of such diseases. So, Madam Speaker, we should not just talk about these things, but put them in practice. Ugandans should also know that COVID is real. Thank you. Let me invite Honorable Polot, who is coordinating the funeral. Honorable Polot, where are you? And then after that, the Honorable Asamo, Orot, Babadiri, Obote is behind there. They are come like this. Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, for this opportunity to say a word of tribute to our fallen colleague. Madam Speaker, it's painful to be speaking here over the body of a young and promising leader, a humble and non-confrontational person. Madam Speaker, I have known Honorable Lupo for quite some time, and I've known her for her humility, her simple nature. I want to give an example. In 2015, when she approached me, it was December, asking for support. She wanted to contest for woman member of parliament for Palisa district. But I was open and frank to her. I told her, no, my sister, you have delayed because some people have already approached me. Why don't you wait? She told me, no, let me proceed. If it is my time, I will get it. But since you have already committed yourself to work with other people, I will respect your opinion. And she did it. So later, when the chance came for her, I was also available to work with her. Madam Speaker, Honorable Lupo, by her nature, was a nice person to work with. You will notice that in this house, many times we, the constituency members of parliament, knock heads with the district women representatives. But in my case, it never happened, and I knew it would never happen if Honorable Lupo continued to live and be the member of parliament for Palisa. So it gives us a lesson to learn from, that we need to put ourselves in a situation where we work with each other for a common goal and avoid conflicts. You know, I have heard Honorable Othieno say, maybe she has gone to prepare for us. But I'm very sure none of us is willing to follow immediately where she has prepared. But we can simply say it here. What I'm trying to say, it is a pain that you cannot understand. even when it could be true she was going to prepare for us, nobody believes. Just a moment, nobody believes that it is happiness there, and therefore we should join her very fast. I will conclude by appealing to all of us, where we can, let's do the little we can to support the young family. And to the government, thanks for what you have done so far. And to the Parliament and Madam Speaker under you, thanks for the support you have given. And when at any point we or the family come to you, please still allow us to disturb you here and there. I want to thank colleagues who have shown the support. Please thank you for the brotherly and sisterly response. May the good Lord rest her soul in eternal peace.
No, follow.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Wait a bit.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. First, I wish to thank you for considering to bring our colleague here to pay her final respects as she lives for the Lord. It's also sad, Madam Speaker, to lose somebody who is a lady or a woman, because it's a woman who builds a nation. I've often told people that a woman can give birth even without a man, and that's how Jesus was born. But a man can never give birth if left alone, unless he is with a woman. Therefore, the loss we have met today is actually a big loss for our community. The people of Palisa, they have lost a lot. Madam Speaker, I'm the immediate neighbor to the Palisa district. Immediately you cross the swamp, you reach my constituency in Kanyumu. So we have a lot to share, both politically and socially. So when we heard about the death of Honorable Alupo, it was so sudden, and I was informed by my driver who was in the field. For me, I had not yet known until I consulted thoroughly, because first of all, the way he had told me was so scaring that it was COVID disease. So I told him that I can't suppress such a message until I confirm. So, Madam Speaker, it's a big loss to us. To the family, I want to wish you prosperity and never to lose hope, because death of a family member may not be the end of life. Other members, the children and others will grow up. Most of the people you see prosperous on the earth today, they started in a very hard background, in a very hard environment, and they made it up to where they are today. So, hope should never be lost, and we therefore pray for her soul to rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Asamo, to be followed by Honorable Babadiri, then Honorable Obote, then Honorable Koruo. I'm moving that side. Could someone bring Honorable Babadiri a bit forward? Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to add my voice to thank you for accepting for us to pay tribute to the Honorable Faith Alupo. Right Honorable Speaker, this was a young lady who was always smiling. The first time I met her after her swearing in, she was with Honorable Opolot, and Honorable Opolot told her that I want you to get to know Honorable Asamo, and she'll always guide you where you think you have a problem. The first time, her salary delayed, and she was quiet. So I asked her, have you been paid? She said, no, I have not yet. They have not told me anything. So I told her, no, you can't sit here when you don't know that you're supposed to get your money. So I had to direct her to go to finance and ensure that her money was paid. But she was relaxed, and she didn't even bring that problem. So that one came, because I asked her, why are you not having a car, a new car? So she told me, no, these people have not yet paid me. They are giving me examples. Madam Speaker, the last time was the time we were voting for the cities here. I remember that day you were supposed to give her to raise an issue of national concern. So I meet her and I say, but the speaker has called you, where were you? She told me, Toto, I'd gone to eat. I said, next time you ask for an issue of national concern, you have to be in the house. Then she asked me, now what about these cities? What am I supposed to vote? So I told her that we are all supporting the what? The city status, because that's an issue of development. Said, okay, I need to consult. And that's how Alupo was. Madam Speaker, whereas we mourn this person, I am asking myself, when we come to Parliament when we are new, we get an induction. We are guided. But people who come in the middle there's very little induction done to them. So they tend to reserve themselves. You can imagine that we get to know that Honorable was in hospital when she's dead. Because I want to think that if there was that kind of induction, maybe she would have been free to inform members about her condition. But she never informed anybody. Because I know, Madam Speaker, you are this person who hears a person is sick as a member of Parliament, and you always try your level best to ensure that this person is rescued. Because Honorable Alupo had, whereas people talk of COVID, but she was someone having pressure. She had a pregnancy, because when I asked her that day, that why are you pregnant when you are going for a race? And me, I was monitoring all the people in the East. The day she failed, I called people in Palisa. I have my informers. They said, Honorable Alupo has lost. And I was like, this is terrible, because with the pressure, with the pregnancy, I think this was a terrible state. Whereas we can think of another thing. But I think if she had confided on somebody, I know with you, Right Honorable Speaker, you would have done something. And maybe would. To conclude, I beg you, I want to say that we have seen the small children. Honorable Muyango has begged here. Madam Speaker, maybe you will make a pronouncement. These children are young. They even don't know what is happening. We need to see how Parliament, as a Parliament, how we can give a hand to see that these children are supported. Because Alupo just came in 2018, I don't even think her pension account is okay. So maybe we need to pray for that. And I want to leave the family with Psalm 23, where the Lord is the shepherd. I know the children will grow and they will become useful people in this country. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I invite Honorable Badiri. But just to confirm what Honorable Asama said, I actually did not know that Honorable Alupo was sick. I was just informed that she had died. Then I said, but was she sick? I didn't know. Where did she die? In Entebbe? What was she doing in Entebbe? You know, I really got confused. But I was also told she had both hypertension and diabetes, and also the pregnancy. So it was a combination. Okay. Yes, Honorable Badiri.
Yes, hello. Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Madam Speaker, on behalf of people of Koboko and on my own behalf, I would like to convey my sincere condolences to the family of late Faith and the people of Palisa, also Parliament and Uganda at large. The death of Faith is very, very painful because she has died too young. At least if he saw something like 60 years, we would say maybe she has lived, but only 37. That is the beginning of her life. And it started very well by coming to Parliament. And the way she was representing people of Palisa, she had the future to do better things for Palisa, to do better things for Uganda. But it has been cut short. Secondly, the death is painful because she died when pregnant. She died with another person, at least she died alone. You can imagine being pregnant with the pressure and with the corona. You cannot survive. That's why our girl has left too young. Madam Speaker, I got to know Faith very well because she never passed me by. Each time I would pass, she would greet me. Then I would ask, who is that? Say, that is Faith Alupo. With the time, I was now
Just give her 1 minute. Give her 1 minute.
Yes. Okay. I'm really sorry for the parents and the relatives because we have lost her contribution to the family. And we pray that may the Lord rest her soul in eternal peace. Thank you.
Honorable Obote, followed by Honorable Koruo, Honorable Bintu Jalia, then that's Mukula, Dulu. Okay.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for granting us this opportunity to pay our last respects to our fallen colleague. On behalf of the people of Kalaki, whom I represent in this House, I would like to convey my condolences to the family of our bereaved colleague, Honorable Faith Alupo, and to the people of Palisa and to this Parliament. The death of any person is a tragedy. It's a tragedy to those who knew that person. It's a tragedy to those who were served by that person. And most certainly, it is more tragic when the person was as young as our colleague and with a promising future. I first learned of the death of our colleague from social media. I immediately called Honorable Jacob Opolot, and before I could say anything, he just told me, yes, it is true, it has happened. And it was indeed very saddening. Honorable Faith was a friend of everyone in this Parliament. Not once have I heard of anybody speaking negatively about her. Madam Speaker, I would only like to say one thing. I have said this before and I would like to say it again. In the course of my visits to the various parliaments, especially in Africa, and particularly in Zambia, we were taken into a room that has a gallery, and we asked about the gallery. We were told this is the gallery of the dead. It is a gallery of members of parliament who have died while in service. And just like in the police, just like in the military, they have reserved a special room of honor for colleagues who have died in service. I always believe that this is something that we should consider doing. It binds those of us who are living to colleagues who are gone, and it binds those who are gone to leaders who will come in the future. I want to thank you very much for this opportunity granted to me, and I pray that the bereaved family gain strength from the Lord, and that our dear sister finds eternal rest in the Lord. Thank you.
Koruo, Honorable Jalia Bintu, followed by Honorable Mukula, Honorable Dulu, Kumama. Did I come this side? Yeah, I'm coming.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Death has robbed us a young legislature, Honorable Alupo Faith, woman member of Parliament for Palisa District. Honorable Alupa was a member in our committee. She was very quick to learn. She was very inquisitive and used to talk many things related to industry and tourism in Palisa. On behalf of the people of Toroma, I share the great grief about the loss of Honorable Alupo. And this sudden death reminds me of something, because when I was in the village, I didn't know that we have lost such a great leader. I got news from our local radio FM, but I couldn't believe about the death of Honorable Alupo. I take now this opportunity to request the government to speed up the distribution of masks to the people of Uganda, more especially to the people of Toroma, whom I represent. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Jalia Bintu, followed by Honorable Mukula, Honorable Dulu, Honorable Kumama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I join my colleagues to pay tribute to the late Honorable Faith Alupo, and I want to extend our sincere condolences from the people of Masindi District and from the Uganda Parliamentary Circle for the loss of our valued member. Madam Speaker, Honorable Alupo, immediately when she was sworn in as a Member of Parliament, we went and met her and interested her to join the Uganda Parliamentary Circle. Madam Speaker, Honorable Alupo was a person who cherished the values and cause of saving culture. And I want to inform this August House that up to the last minute when she breathed her last, Honorable Alupo was our member, and she had saved, and she was that person who did not want to touch her savings. We shall miss her as Uganda Parliamentary Circle, and the Honorable Speaker, as in our policy, when we lose a member, the Uganda Parliamentary Circle contributes 1 million shillings to the bereaved family. At an appropriate time, we shall invite the people who have remained to take care of the family to come, and we hand over this contribution. Madam Speaker, allow me to talk about the non-communicable diseases. Madam Speaker, Uganda is one of the countries which has registered the highest number of cases of non-communicable diseases. And these diseases are not only affecting the older persons, but we are surprised that even the children, you'll find a child suffering from diabetes, a child suffering from pressure. This is something which the government needs to take in interest, especially in developing mechanisms of prevention. Because if we don't handle the preventive measures, then we are likely to fall into a big ditch, Madam Speaker. These are diseases which you cannot see. You just see somebody depreciating. You just see somebody collapsing. Madam Speaker, I want to propose as a parliament that we go ahead in this coming financial year, we go ahead and appropriate enough funds to help Ministry of Health to make sure that they sensitize people on the preventive measures rather than looking at the curative measures. This will help our community and our people to live longer. Madam Speaker, I want to pray that may the Almighty Allah rest the soul of our Honorable Faith in eternal peace. Thank you.
Kula will be followed by Honorable Angelo Dulu, then the Honorable Mwijuke.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of the entire Agule County, Balsa District, and on behalf of, more specifically, Kogonyo County, that has just been carved out of Agule County, I stand here to support the motion. Madam Speaker, just to note that Honorable Alupo Faith, the late, loved her district. She's a born of Palsa and married to Palsa. She's a born of Palsa County, Palisa Sub-County, but married to Kogonyo County, Ajepet Parish, Kogonyo Sub-County, where I'm her member of parliament. And therefore, she really loved the district. Madam Speaker, this is really a disaster. This is really a great shock to the relatives, to me, to the voters, to the district, and the entire country. More specifically, great shock to the people of Kogonyo County, where they have lost their mother, where they have lost their wife. Right, Honorable Speaker, also to note that Honorable Alupo Faith is my cousin, Honorable Alupo Faith is my leader. Death is really an enemy of robbing such a young upcoming leader who has been naturally calm, naturally loving, naturally advisory, and too patient for life. One thing to note about her, she didn't have quarrels, she didn't have conflicts with anybody, especially her political opponents. You never hear her mentioning anything bad against her political opponents. To the family, the husband, the young kids, the parents, thank you. We were seeing a leader coming up who had a lot of pride and happiness. Please take heart. I know you were seeing the family growing, the district growing, the country growing. Please take heart. God with us. May the soul of my cousin sister rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Angela Dulu. Then, oh, it's on this side. Honorable Mujuke, the chair of WOPA. I've seen you. I've seen you. Ah, okay.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
The masks are really a problem. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the people of Adjumani and on my own behalf, Madam Speaker, I want to say that in this kind of situation, the only consolation we are left with is by our faith that each one of us has been given a piece of work to do by our Creator. It's very unfortunate that we do not know and will not know what amount of work, what work to be done. We get to understand this at the point of our death. Like it is believed by our faith that today that our sister has left us, it is after accomplishing the work that has been given to her by the Almighty God. When we pay tributes like this, it should also act to us as a mirror. It's very important to note whatever has been spoken here, so that for those of us who are still here breathing, it will be advantageous, because whatever we are saying here, apart from the prayers that we offer, is not helpful to the fallen sister. It's only for us who are still breathing. And that's the reason why I said it should act to us as a mirror. Now that today, at the point of death of our sister, these are the things that we share together here. How about when it comes to my time? What will other people say about us? It's very important when you are a believer, when you are a Christian, so that this streamlines the way we do our things, the way we behave, the way we interact with the others. And there, life flows with a lot of intimacy. May her soul rest in eternal peace. I thank you.
Commissioner Mujuke, followed by Honorable Chair of WOPA, Honorable Cooper, Honorable Chekwel, Amoding, Muiru, Senyongo.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker,
Kumama is on this side.
I also stand to pay tribute to our foreign colleague. Right Honourable Speaker, when I was told that she was pregnant and that they had removed the fetus of 8 months and that they are going to be buried on the same day, I felt very bad. However, Right Honourable Speaker, we are concerned by the fact that we serve a living God and that she's going to heaven, and although we fear the way to heaven, but we know we will get there soon. Right Honourable Speaker, I was reading in this book on page 2 and I saw this quotation from Timothy, 1 Timothy 6. We brought nothing into the world and we take nothing out. The Lord gives and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Sometimes we fight over earthly things. You see people fighting like they will not die tomorrow. You see people grabbing land like they will not die tomorrow. And when it comes to death, you don't even take an inch. You just go. So every time I go for burial, I reflect and say, I think we must stop these fights. They are not useful. They don't help us. After all, we are all going to die and we shall leave these things here. Right Honourable Speaker, she was not chaotic. I had not met her quarrel with anybody. She was a very simple person, but she was a member of parliament. There are people who are leaders and they really want to be felt. They step on everybody. But death is really very powerful. And that's why when one of us goes, we feel threatened. But again, you hear people say, our good cadre. And when cadres die, then the children start suffering. And then you ask, he was your good cadre, so what are you going to do? I said that when we lost Abiriga. The good cadre has gone, the children cannot be helped. Now another cadre has gone, you'll come here and tell us how she was a very good cadre. 2 weeks down the road, the children cannot get fees. Children of a cadre. I hope now that you have said she was a good cadre, you do something about it, so that we don't meet children suffering. And yet she did her best. I heard people talk about Chankwanzi. She did her best to serve this country and serve the party she belonged to. I want to thank you and also inform you that they have only allowed 70 people to go for burial, which means most of us will not be going. They were told as part of the organizing committee, but we'll see how, on behalf of the commission, to send a message to Parisa. Thank you so much, and may her soul rest in peace.
Thank you. Honorable Chair Wopa, followed by Honorable Cooper, Honorable Chekwel.
Right, Honorable Speaker, talking about the demise of Faith Alupo is talking about a friend, a colleague, and above all, a sister. The time we've been together, Faith has demonstrated selflessness, commitment to both work and family. At 36, Faith has gone too soon. Palisa has lost a servant leader. Her inspiration, wisdom, energy, and enthusiasm to work shall forever be missed. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Budaka, Wapa, and on my own behalf, I convey my heartfelt condolences to the people of Palisa and the country at large. My thoughts and feelings are with the bereaved family. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Okupa, then Honorable Chekwel, Honorable Moding, Honorable Muiru, Honorable Senyonga, Kumama, and then Ukozu Ganavye Kwaso.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand here to second the motion as moved by the Deputy Prime Minister. Right Honorable Speaker, we are gathered here today again in a very difficult moment because we have lost a colleague and a young colleague who had barely been with us for barely a year. Honorable Faith Alupo was a humble person, and I kept wondering where the humility came from. But Madam Speaker, I just realized when I went through this booklet that she was a daughter, she was a child of a Reverend James O'Kring. No wonder that's where the humility comes from. She was a well brought up girl, lady, and it's very important that we bring our children well. Madam Speaker, on that fateful morning, I was with Honorable Anita Mong when we received a message which had been sent, but which was not clear, that Honorable Faith Alupo needs prayers, the condition is not well, we shall update you. We decided to call Honorable Jacob Opolot and say, brothers, we have lost our sister. So it was just, I think, a humble way of breaking the bad news. It was so saddening hearing that we have lost a colleague at that age. Right Honorable Speaker, when the Prime Minister was moving the motion, is informing the country that the Honorable was undergoing treatment for diabetic and pressure. But over the weekend coming from Teso, I listened to the RDC of Palisa warning people not to come for the burial because our colleague has died of COVID. Madam Speaker, I think we deserve the right information. The right information. Of course, we know the health workers have told us that if you have pre-existing conditions, your case is worse. But I think the issues of public health needs a firm approach because it will help us to understand. It's like, Madam Speaker, we keep reading in the press that 10 members of parliament and staff have been found COVID positive. But we don't know who these are. I think it's just good manners for us to know, such that we get to know whether we have been in touch, in contact with these people, such that we take precautions. Why are we shy? These are issues of public health. We want to protect Ugandans. Let us be honest, let us tell people the truth, what the cause of death is, who is positive in Parliament or who is positive in Uganda, such that we are able to send a right message out there. Of course, Honorable Speaker, it's very pertinent for a husband, like we have heard, that the husband may not be able to attend the burial because he's quarantined. That needs to be cleared. If it's true, then possibly that's a condition of COVID. So, but it's painful to a member. Imagine your spouse is being buried, but you can't attend. So these are very disheartening things. So I think the government needs to come out clear and tell us the truth. But in such situations, the Bible in Psalms 46:1 tells us that God is our refuge in such difficult times, and is our strength, and is ever-present help in such situations of trouble. Madam Speaker, may the soul of Faith Alupo rest in eternal peace.
Thank you. As I invite Honorable Chekwel, I just wanted to comment on what Honorable Cooper said. Indeed, we have had situations where hints are thrown. For instance, some months ago, there was on social media a picture of one of the members saying the member is positive. So as the head of the institution, I waited for official information to tell me that one of your members has tested positive. Can you do ABCD? No one wrote to me, no one telephoned me. When I looked for it, I said, but the member, I read this, is it true? She said, no, me, I'm at home, I'm fine. So now when this one happened, I asked myself, we have tried to be careful. We have got sanitizers with temperature guns. We have sanitizing and washing. Where did it happen? Where did it happen to Faith? Is it here? What do we do? You know, no one has said anything. So that's it's a very difficult situation. Honorable Chekol? Procedure? Yes, Honorable Opendi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is the very first time that we are having a colleague's body in this House, and there is total absence from the Ministry of Health. And yet we expect the Ministry of Health to give us some brief medical report on what could have happened. They are not here, but the procedural point that I'm raising, would it not be procedural right that at an opportune time the Ministry of Health comes and updates the House? Because this kind of statements are not good. It leaves us wondering and also may give false information that may not be correct to the public, that a member died of COVID-19, whereas not. So I was just moving on this point that I think the procedural issue I'm raising, would it not be procedural right that we get a statement from the Ministry of Health at an opportune time?
You know, they are aware, because I told them that on Tuesday we are going to have a tribute, so I expected that someone would be here to give us a post-mortem, but they are not. But we take your point. Honorable Chekol?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to pay tribute to our fallen colleague. On behalf of the people of Queen, Sebei at large, and on my own behalf, I would like to sincerely convey our condolences to the bereaved family, the people of Palisa, the people of this House, and Uganda at large. Right Honorable Speaker, it is very unfortunate that we have lost a very young legislator who was just here for barely 1.5 years. Right Honorable Speaker, we are aware, of course, that to reach this House you pass through so many difficulties, and the family is challenged. The people of Palisa, of course, went through so much, but their legislator has just been here for a very short time. Very unfortunate, my condolences. Right Honorable Speaker, when Honorable Faith came in, we would just pass each other, greeting, plus the smiles, of course, which was actually her signature. But when we were almost passing the creation of these new constituencies, I had a long discussion with her as we were waiting for the House to start. We sat and she was telling me about how she was excited about the constituency and that she had actually achieved, because when she was campaigning, her people asked her that since she was just coming here for a short time, if she would deliver the constituency, then they would actually have achieved. So she actually told me, of course she was so free with me, she even told me about her pregnancy and how she was planning to go about in the campaigns. Right Honorable Speaker, when I got the news, the sad news about the loss of this dear sister of mine, I just saw it on WhatsApp and I was like, now what is this again? Right Honorable Speaker, of course we got information about what had killed her. They had said COVID, and others were even saying she was giving birth. But even as I was seated there, some people were asking me, we are not seeing the body of Honorable Alupo. So is it true that she died of COVID? So I think I joined my colleagues in really demanding that they should tell us what actually caused the death, and that one will actually help us. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. So that we know, and of course we take precautions. I also wanted to say something about these non-communicable diseases. Right Honorable Speaker, there are so many of our people whom we have lost due to diabetes, high blood pressure. We have people who are suffering under stroke caused by high blood pressure. And I really want to support what one colleague talked about, that we need actually to sensitize our people on how we can prevent these non-communicable diseases, which are causing a great havoc. We have lost so many of our people, others are actually in hospitals. Right Honorable Speaker, I really want to say this has been so bad. We have lost so many colleagues in this house, and it is just a sign of what is happening across the country. To the bereaved family, again, I want to say, take heart. We shall continue praying for you, for God to strengthen you, and may the soul of our fallen colleague rest in eternal peace, and may God bring up the children to be successful, useful members of our society. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Amading, followed by Honorable Muiru. Then I think Honorable Senyonga, Viekwaso, and we shall close with Kumam on this side. Oh, Osoku.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I join colleagues to pay tribute to Honorable Alupo on my own behalf and on behalf of the people of Kumi. We have lost a very young leader and one who had a future ahead of her. Madam Speaker, when Honorable Faith came to Parliament, she was posted to the Committee of Trade, and we sat there with her for just barely 2 years. But while she was in that committee, she was a very diligent person, very, very diligent and committed in all committee activities. But what strikes me most about her time with me is that as a friend, she consulted a lot on many things, especially the workings of Parliament, administration of Parliament, but also issues to deal with the constituency. Madam Speaker, Faith took some time consulting on what to do in terms of interventions in the constituency. And whereas it is very easy for, I think as a person who has been in human rights and women's rights for a long time, I think what strikes me out of Faith's time here is the challenge that women members of Parliament face in determining what to do for that big constituency, Madam Speaker. And I know many women here are challenged with what to do for their constituency. A woman member of Parliament has 1,000 villages. A constituency has about 3 sub-counties to run for 5 years. And Madam Speaker, what kept Faith looking forward to doing something in her constituency was the dynamics on what to do as a woman member of Parliament. I think, Madam Speaker, that is something we missed in this Parliament on what we should do and how to redefine the position of a woman member of Parliament in this House. And I think that if we return to this Parliament, it is something that is very, very important for us to discuss, to make our lives easier and to make the lives of women members of Parliament easier in terms of service delivery and impact in the constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, Faith was my friend. We shared a lot on issues of family, and she loved her family very, very much. I'm very, very confident to speak about that. I want to say that the man in her life was a very lucky man, because Faith loved her husband, loved her children, loved to make a contribution in the area of family. One time when I was with her, we were joking about the pregnancy that she had got. We were talking about it, and I found her very heavy and looking very tired. I asked her, Faith, have you taken in another seed? We joked, and she laughed. Then I said, but you have taken in at a very wrong time, when we are going for a very hectic time of elections. How are you going to balance having a pregnancy with an election which is very hectic, like NRM primaries? And she joked as you Speaker. She smiled about it and said that everything is about God. Little did I know that it was going to end in this way. Indeed, we do not know the plans that God has for our lives, and that is very important for us to know. But for me, whereas we are having this conversation about what killed Faith, I concluded that this was a pregnancy, non-communicable disease, coupled with a pregnancy at such a difficult time of an election. Right Honorable Speaker, it must have been difficult for her. I concluded that she died in the line of duty. Many women in Africa pass on because of this duty which you cannot even, control. You cannot choose. If you have chosen to get pregnant, you are not sure how you will end up, whether alive or dead in Africa. And so that conversation reminds us of what we have unfinished in this House in terms of maternal health. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to say with those words, it is very, very sad to lose such a young woman. This is the second time we lose a young woman, Member of Parliament, not just any ordinary woman, to a pregnancy. And so that reminds us more on what more we must do. I condole with the family, with the people of Palisa, Parliament and Uganda at large. May her soul rest in peace and in power. In Jesus' name.
Thank you, Honorable Mwiru. Followed by Honorable Ochen Oseku.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. I rise to pay tribute to our fallen colleague, Honorable Faith Alupo, and I want to convey our condolences to the family on behalf of the people of Jinja Municipal Constituency and to the Parliament of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I've heard the Prime Minister say that Honorable Faith Alupo was a very good card of the National Resistance Movement. I asked him to add, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, that actually she did it with decorum. And I think there should be a leave to borrow from her that whenever it came to parliamentary business, she supported that party with a lot of decorum. She even supported her positions with respect to other colleagues. I want to say, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, that she was a true icon of parliamentary multi-party democracy. It is always plausible in this House that when we are dealing with very controversial matters, whenever we have stood on the floor as members of the opposition, at least colleagues, when maybe they have lacked arguments to counter what we are saying, they have echoed at least us when we are submitting. I didn't see that in Faith. All the time she was in this House, she really felt that the only way of expressing herself was through the chance given by the Speaker to speak on this microphone. I think we need to emulate her on that. Because I heard people say, she spent a little time in Parliament. But she had a very strong side of her, that she respected the decorum of Parliament and she respected everybody. So having said that, Honorable Speaker and colleague, I think this is going to be a strong warning. I saw there's a debate as to whether COVID, as to whether blood pressure or any other. I want to challenge you colleagues. We are in this campaign period. Even at my home, when you are there as a politician, very many people walk into our homes because we are looking for votes. Like I normally ask them, you don't have a mask? They say in the village there is no COVID-19. But you see, it is a very challenging situation. And that, Honorable Speaker, I think as a Minister of Health or as an institution, we need to come out and come out with a very strong voice about this. When I heard about the death of Honorable Faith Alupo, I imagined what happens now on a daily basis. As you wake up, you have over 100, 200 people in your home. But none of us can stand up to tell these employers of ours, the voters, that they must have a mask. I have where the people must sanitize. Some people forcefully walk past that point, and you keep on telling them to go back. But you realize that the culture, which is in this kind of people, okay, 1 minute. But people don't respect procedures in this way. So I think this should go to all colleagues, that whereas you are looking for votes, you must also consider life to be very important. Otherwise, if we don't pay due regard to the standard operating procedure by the Minister of Health, there is a lot which may happen to us in this country. I beg to submit.
Honorable, okay, Senyonga, Ochen, Oseku, Flavia, and then Kumama.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues. I stand to support the motion on my own behalf and on behalf of Buganda Parliamentary Caucus, I convey our condolences to the family of the one I used to tease as the Buganda that was lost in the Eastern. When you look at her face and the size of the nose, I used to tease her that you are part of the Buganda Caucus, but you were lost in the Eastern. And could take it very easy and say, when are you sitting? When are you coming for me? So it is really sad news that we have lost a very jolly fellow and a friend. So my appeal goes to the family. You know, in Buganda, when a mother dies, children 100% relies on the uncles. So uncles, my appeal, please, don't leave the husband alone. The little savings and whatever the lady has sweated for can help the children to survive happily, and they are able always to remember that their mother was a freedom fighter. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Honorable Oseko, then Ochen, then Genevieve Kwaso, and we end with the Kumama.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, among the Iteso, in a moment like this, we say Ichan. And Ichan means the sorrow. This is the state of affairs that we are faced with right now. One, because of the nature of the death of Honorable Faith Alupo. It was a one-off doom. Alupo is dead. That is a very sad moment for us. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, we know very well that Honorable Alupo was such a young person. You have introduced the children here. The husband is under isolation. He cannot come and participate in the burial of his wife. And this is a bride to that Mr. Chom under isolation. He just wedded her recently. It is a very sad moment for us here, Right Honorable Speaker. But most importantly, Madam Speaker, you know that we have lost a very hard-earned resource, a human resource, a woman. Honorable Alupo, much as she has departed so soon, was an accomplished woman. She grew up well. She was able to attend to school, and you know how difficult it is for a girl child in this country, Madam Speaker. But she successfully accomplished her education. Madam Speaker, she was a woman of values. She was able to establish a family. She has left behind the children. So indeed, we cannot forget the saying that educate a woman and you have educated a nation. So this country has lost, the family has lost. That's why I say it is very sad, and that is very sorrowful for us, not only as a family, not only as people of Palisa, but as a nation and as a family of Parliament of Uganda. We want to thank her family, especially the late Reverend Okror and Toto Margaret Okror, for all that they invested in her, such that at the end of the day she was a resourceful person and a leader in this country. Madam Speaker, I want to say, as a representative of the people, for those of you who have followed Honorable Faith Alupo was pertinent about the fate of her.
Okay. 1 minute more.
I remember when we were confronted with a disease called hepatitis. Honorable Alupo was one of those who rallied the whole of this parliament because she contributed highlighting the fate and the dangers of the hepatitis disease which had attacked Palisa. The other thing was about the issue of quarantine of livestock. She knew that the state and the economy of the people of Palisa was going to be affected so much. She prayed and asked for vaccines to be provided and for the quarantine and the markets to be lifted so that the people could at least sell their livestock and send children to school. That is the person that we have lost, and we can do nothing but only say we thank God for her and for what she has been able to do in a short time. Madam Speaker, allow me also to thank you for, as we can see, the casket is not here, but you have taken initiative to provide for this tribute to take place. We want to thank the Parliament, the staff, and for all that you have done to honor Honorable Faith Alupo, that in her 2 years, very short time in Parliament, we can give tribute to her. I want to support this motion, and I want to thank you very much. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
But Madam Speaker, perhaps I may not return, but allow me to guide the colleagues who may be able to make it. And we want to invite you to come to Palisa to see off our colleague. Palisa is a drive from here, for most of you who know, to the east. You'll reach Iganga, and from Iganga town about 5 kilometers to a junction called Nakalama. So you take the left turn, you drive 51 kilometers from that turn to a place called Tirinyi. In Tirinyi, you will find another left turn that takes you 21 kilometers to Palisa district headquarters. And from there, we have endeavored to coordinate with the traffic so that they can guide us. From Palisa town, it is 8 kilometers to the final resting place that we will lay Honorable Alupo tomorrow. So you are welcome, members. Parliament is providing for us transport, a bus. Honorable Mujiche Commissioner had said that there is a restriction, but the structure and arrangements is that we shall have 250 people attending the send-off. And Parliament is specially provided with 50 people. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Chen, followed by Brigadier Vyekwaso, and then Honorable Kumama.
Madam Speaker, I stand here to support the motion that was moved by the Leader of Government Business this afternoon. Madam Speaker, on the behalf of the people of Kaplebion County, Kaplebion District, on my own behalf, we would like to extend our condolences to the people of Palisa and the family of our late colleague. Madam Speaker, this afternoon, the loss of our honorable colleague, I would like to use it as a message to the 10th Parliament and to government in particular. Madam Speaker, if you looked at the budget that we passed for the current financial year, allocation on communicable diseases, Madam Speaker, it leaves a lot to be desired. Madam Speaker, this Parliament needs to pay a keen attention and improve the allocation on the health sector. Madam Speaker, if members of Parliament are going to shy from ensuring that they take allocation on health seriously, we will continue to get this problem throughout the country. Madam Speaker, this is my prayer number one. Message number two, I am myself embarrassed together with the people of Teso. Madam Speaker, I am asking myself, why did government go ahead to organize election? Maybe our colleague could not have died. Why did the NRM government push for this election? So many countries all over the world postponed their election. If Alupo did not go for this election that we have gone through in the NRM primaries, she could not have died. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, this death will be put on your head as government. You must be prepared to respond. This must be told on you. We, the people of Teso, will not be happy. The people of Uganda will not be happy. Why did you choose to sacrifice the lives of the people? How can, Madam Speaker, on the 18th, we had 423 people infected by the disease in the country. Why?
Honorable Prime Minister.
Honorable member, in order. Is the honorable member in order to turn this debate, or rather condolence ceremony, into a budgetary session when he participated fully, how money was allocated? And is he in order to say it is the government which is responsible for the deaths in this country and not God? Is he in order?
Honourable members, I think let us just pay tribute to our colleague and leave the confrontational issues. That one we can speak after tomorrow. But just talk about the good things about faith and thank you. Honourable Brigadier Viekas.
Madam Speaker, it is always important at this national level, whenever there are critical issues that affect the country, that we do make a mention about the genesis of the problem.
Honourable Member, you are continuing? You are continuing?
Madam Speaker, let me conclude by saying we, the people of Teso, would like to welcome all other people that will be in position to share with us in this trying moment. Our cultural institution is very much disturbed, Madam Speaker, over this loss. I urge the family to be firm and let's turn to the Lord. The Almighty God is the Alpha and Omega. I thank you.
Also, I want to thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and also I want to thank the movers of this motion, and I stand to also support it. And I want to start briefly on where the previous speaker stopped and said this is not only a Tesa affair, it's for all Ugandans, that today we celebrate, we mourn the death of this legislator at such a young age. On behalf of UPDF fraternity, Right Honourable Speaker, especially members of Parliament, I join to pay tribute to the late Honourable Faith. Personally, at a personal level, I did not interact much with her, but I would see from her demeanor that she was a very patient, calm, and a committed person, and a person who used to socialize with others without antagonism. Of course, Right Honourable Speaker, at such a moment we all feel bad and feel sad, and inevitably we have to mourn. But I want to say on a light note, Right Honourable Speaker and members, that as the Bible says, that when people pass on, we only change form. We have changed from the physical that we see into that spiritual that we cannot see, that we cannot touch, but we know that someone is still alive. And if I can borrow Right Honourable Speaker from, there is a recent burial where I was, and the child got up and said that you people stop mourning, stop crying for my mother. And he was an 11-year-old boy, and he said, I'm already happy because I was crying before, but now my tears have dried up because I know my mother is there just cheering me. She's in a better place. She's gone where she wouldn't want to come back. So, Right Honourable Speaker, let's join and instead of mourning Faith, celebrate her, because at her age, 36 years, she has lived a legacy. She has lived something she's going to be remembered for. Right Honourable Speaker, she's an example of a strong woman, a leader, a people's representative, a mother of two, and an embodiment, Right Honourable Speaker, of women's emancipation. Let's use her, Right Honourable Speaker, to continue the cause of emancipating women in this country. Right Honourable Speaker, on this note, in conclusion, I also want to mourn her child. And this is a culture, Right Honourable Speaker, where we are, that children of that nature are not mourned. No wonder almost none of us has really mourned that little baby. It is a painful, especially for us who had such. I have an example, Right Honourable. Yes, brief, okay, that I mourn that baby. And lastly, let us use this occasion also to make it and use every opportunity, Right Honourable Speaker, to stop the spread of COVID through observing the SOPs. I don't want to say what caused Honourable Faith to get this disease, but let's use every opportunity available to stop the spread of COVID. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Honourable Kumama. Okay, we'll close with the Honourable Maganda.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to support the motion raised by the leader of government business to pay tribute to the late Faith Alupo, who has been the Member of Parliament of Palliser District. It's indeed unfortunate that it has happened that way. All has been said, but on behalf of myself and my own people, and the people of Bale County and Kayunga District, I stand to pay tribute to Honorable Alupo, in that I had one opportunity to interact with her, especially when there was a function about the Bakenya community in Palliser. That function was well attended by most of the Bakenya in Uganda, and in that annual general meeting, or annual general conference, it actually took place in her constituency. And when we approached her to actually officiate in that conference, she readily availed herself, and she was the guest of honor. And indeed, it gave us a lot of, she gave us a lot of hope and a lot of encouraging words. And all the Bakenya in this country were very, very happy. At this moment, we really, these people actually asked me to pass their tribute and thanks in that regard. So, the Right Honourable Speaker, I must therefore really pass my sincere condolences to her family, the husband, the children, the young children we've just seen here, and the entire friends and the Palliser people, the whole Parliament, NRM as a government, and all of us as Ugandans. We have missed a young legislator who had hope, who had a lot that she was ready to offer. It's unfortunate it happened that way, and there is nothing much we can do. I only just say, may the Almighty God that gave her to us really consider her for eternal life. Thank you very much.
Madam Minister for East Africa.
Madam Speaker, I want to join the rest of our colleagues to pay tribute to our departed colleague, Honorable Faith Alupo, and also on behalf of the people of Samia Bugwe, Busia, and the people of the Greater Bukedi, as the chairperson of the Bukedi Parliamentary Caucus,
I want to join the rest and also thank you, Madam Speaker, for having given us the opportunity this afternoon to pay tribute to our colleague, Faith Alupo. Faith Alupo has been with us as a Member of Parliament now coming to 2 years, but from our interaction with her as a member of the Greater Bukedi, she was manifested with the humble being into a person who later became a Member of Parliament, but most especially very friendly. I want to remind the members, especially Honorable Mede has been very friendly with her, Honorable Polot, and our colleague Oseku. We had a corner somewhere most people would find us, and they were calling it a Bukedi consultative corner, just at Parliament here. And at least almost on every day, whenever we have a session, Honorable Alupo would pass there and we have a chat. And that's the type of person that we have missed. Madam Speaker, I just want to second the talk which was done by our coordinator for the Bakenye. We also emerge from the most marginalized and small clan within this country, which is spread across the whole country. We as members and leaders, when we came here to Parliament, we started trying to identify our roots. And we discovered there are so many of the Bakenye who are in Parisa, there are also others, even Kamuri, Tororo, there's Faz, Chagwenda, and we have been trying to get them together to see that we can empower them in all aspects, in the education and even other things that can really bring them to emancipation. And the last conference we had in Parisa, Honorable Lupo was there, and she identified with that community. And there's so much, they settle around the lake areas. They are so much around the area of Gogonyo, which is very close to the lake. So this is the type of person that some of us, who were already, other than being a colleague leader, she was already identifying with the people that we believe we should.
1 minute, please.
Speaking out to see that we emancipate them. But as Bukedi members, she's somebody that we believe we have not had any issue along with her colleague members of Parliament. For the short time we have been with her, there have not been any complaint, and I believe that she's somebody that we should emulate wherever we are, in case we attempt to interact with our colleagues to work as a team, especially for our district. I just want to say that as Bukedi we shall miss her, and as Parisa, Greater Parisa, everybody will miss this leader who has just come in barely 2 years ago. But what is most important is God who plans for each and every person on the time we shall live in this country, on this earth. And we want to pray that the Almighty Lord provides for her eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, honour members, for your tributes. I just have 2 comments. I think that the situation we are in today clearly shows the challenges that women face to be able to work as leaders. You remain a wife, you remain a mother, you remain in charge of the Great African family, you still have to do your work as a legislator, you have to satisfy your constituents. So all these are things that maybe we take for granted, but that's the reality of leadership, especially for women in the African continent. So I want to pay tribute to Honorable Alupo for being able to be all those things and still be able to represent her people. Secondly, honour members, you know, in the African tradition, when somebody dies, people really gather. So at the homes of Honorable Alupo, the people have been there now almost for 5-6 days. So I want to appeal to members that if it's possible, I would want to ask the parliamentary groups to make contributions to support the family, but also to support the children whom we have seen. I hope that we can rise to the occasion and help our colleague, especially now that the husband is not even able to take part in the funeral, not able to take charge of the situation. I hope that we shall be able to do something to support the family, but I want to thank those who have contributed. Teso Parliamentary Group for the 10 million. We have also the 1 million from the Government Chief Whip. We have 1 million from the UPDF Parliamentary Group. Honorable Viokas has just informed us about that. So with this, honorable members, I want to put the question that the question be put. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. Put the question that this House do pay tribute the Honorable Faith Alupo, Member of Parliament for Palisa, for exemplary service. Those in favor say aye, the contrary no. So the clerk is directed to extract the tribute and the Hansard and hand them over to the family. Members, thank you for your participation. House adjourned to 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So there are many things we have done which touch, and really most of these are for the ordinary people.
Unemployment, for example, poverty, for example, corruption.
Those are the tangible kind of things people would want Parliament to address.
I do not see a member of Parliament getting involved in corruption unless you are talking about Parliament as an institution.
Who should we hold accountable for that?
I think that a member should be able to see what is in the public interest in this issue.
Come, children. Come watch. Mowgli, tell us your story.
I never knew where I came from, but I always knew where I belonged. This is me and Bagheera, the panther who found me in the jungle. He's a good friend of mine. But my best friend of all was good old Papa Bear. Man, we had some crazy times together. when the monkeys grabbed me, things got really crazy. Then, I came face to face with the meanest, scariest tiger in the whole jungle. Shere Khan.
No! You stay away from Mowgli, you mean old tiger, or I'll toss some fire to your tail and burn your butt! I got him, Mowgli! Did you see? I got him!
You sure did, Ranjan. But it's gonna be kind of hard to finish the story now.
But we all know how it ends. Shanti blinks her big, beautiful brown eyes at you, and you followed her into our village.
I did not.
Did so.
Something was in my eye.
Both of them?
Well, you were so ugly you made my eyes water.
Well, you...
No. We give thanks for Shanti's beautiful brown eyes. Without them, Mowgli would never have found his way into our lives. Come to think of it, you used the same trick on me.
And you still fall for it. Thank you for a wonderful story, Mowgli.
Good night, Mowgli.
Night, Shanti. Watch out for Shere Khan on your way home.
You and your stories. Everyone knows tigers don't come into the village.
Tigers go wherever they want!
Good night, boys.
Tomorrow's gonna be so great.
What happens tomorrow?
Nothing.
Uh-huh. Well then, you will need plenty of rest for doing nothing. Off to bed.
No, we never get to stay up late.
Even wild beasts.
Oh, good night, my little wild thing. Mwah.
Good night, Mowgli. Happy dreams.
Good night, sir.
Well, why do you always call him sir? His name's Bob.
Ranjan! You want to wake up the whole village? When does the tiger roar?
I don't know.
After he catches his prey.
His prey. Let's go get our prey.
Boys?
Huh?
Where are you going so early?
To do our chores?
Yeah!
Not without breakfast, you want.
That's okay, we're not hungry.
Gotta go!
Boys, where are you going?
To do our chores!
Bye, Papa! See you later!
Remember, don't cross the river. You can take the boy out of the jungle.
Oh, but you can't take the jungle out of the boy.
Yes, that's what worries me.
Hey, Shanti. Ah! What are you doing here?
Getting water? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm on the lookout for danger.
Danger? Please, there's no danger around here.
Keep this just between us. Yesterday, I saw tiger tracks.
Tiger tracks? Right.
It's Shere Khan. I hear he's looking for me, seeking his bloodthirsty revenge. So keep your ears open and always watch your back, or the last thing you'll ever hear is... When does the tiger roar?
You're horrible! Horrible, stinky boys! Come on, Ranjan. He's a bad influence. Now, don't move. That wasn't very nice, you know. Stop that! You're not a jungle boy.
Why are you so scared of the jungle?
Because it's dangerous.
Dangerous? But Mowgli says...
You shouldn't listen to everything Mowgli says.
But I thought you liked Mowgli.
Well, I do. I like Mowgli. But
you left us at the river.
Thank you.
She's in a bad mood.
Hey, Ranjan, you want to see a little trick I learned in the jungle?
That's a pretty good trick.
Well, here's a little trick I learned right here at home.
Wow, that's a neater trick.
Like I said, Ranjan, don't listen to him.
She's right, Ranjan. Don't listen to me. Listen to the jungle. Can you hear it?
Yeah, the jungle.
Yeah, man. And when you hear that rhythm, you get a crazy feeling inside. That morning sun peeks over the mountains, and all the rhinos rub their eyes when they hear...
Hear what?
Hear the jungle rhythm. Those birds are tap, tap, tapping the tree trunks. The busy bee hums as he flies loud and clear to the jungle rhythm. Now you can hightail it out of the jungle, but it never leaves your heart. First you feel that beat start bubbling under, then you hear the tom-tom's loudest thunder. It's moving me. Sounds a lot like being free when you feel the jungle rhythm.
Yeah, guys.
Feel the jungle rhythm.
Come on, Shanti.
Yeah. Can't do without rhythm. And when it fills the air, animals everywhere join in the dance.
Give me that.
You'll dance along with them, feeling it steal your soul.
We'll stomp our paws.
Flap our wings.
Maybe do 1 or 2 crazy things.
Come on.
Yeah, that's it. Shanti, try this. Not quite. There we go. No. Take a look. Perfect. Check out those chattering monkeys swinging through the banyan trees. 2 by 2 to the jungle rhythm. Sounds like a wolf pack way in the distance, singing pretty harmonies. Woo 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 to the jungle rhythm.
Yeah, woo-hoo.
Yeah, that's it. Now you can hightail it out of the jungle, but it never leaves your heart. First you feel that beat start bubbling under, then hear the tom-tom's loudest thunder.
It's moving me.
Sounds a lot like being free. When I feel
Shanti, what is it? Children, come inside this instant, all of you. Mowgli, that includes you. I am very disappointed in you. You put everyone in danger. You know that you're not allowed to cross the river, and yet you deliberately disobeyed me.
But I...
No, Mowgli. The jungle is a dangerous place. I should know. You are confined to your room without dinner. That should give you plenty of time to think about what you've done.
Mowgli, I was only trying to... Oh, you can hightail it out of the jungle, but it never leaves your heart. Oh, Blue.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Yeah, I mean the ba-da-da-da-dee-da-da, bring the bare necessities of life.
Now that's more like it.
Look at you, all growing like the proverbial weed. Let's see if you still got it. Take it away, little britches.
Poor fellow.
I said, take it away!
Well, this ain't gonna work. You just ain't Mowgli. I guess I gotta get used to singing solo. He's just not getting over that. Oh no, not again! Baloo! Baloo!
Mowgli.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it. Baloo? Baloo?
Oh, man. Back here. How's the wagon?
This has to stop. You can't keep trying to take Mowgli from the man village. The boy's future lies with his own kind.
Oh, his future can wait. I miss my bear cub.
It's not safe for him in the jungle. You know Shere Khan is looking for Mowgli.
Just let Shere Khan try something. We handled Old Stripes once. We'll do it again.
Baloo, don't push your luck.
Out of the way, Baggy.
You're not going near the village!
Later, Baggy.
That's it! Hottie! Plan B!
Up, 2, 3, 4, keep it up. 2, 3, 4.
Now remember, men, our objective is full and complete containment. Prepare for operation.
Stop that bear!
Very good, son. Prepare for operation. Stop that bear!
By the ranks or single file, cover every jungle mile.
Run, Baggy! You're in the parade!
Rush through the underbrush.
No, please stop! Halt!
Huh? I told you, Baloo, there's no way we're letting you near the man village.
You ain't gonna stop me now, Baggy. Look out below!
Search the water!
Follow me!
Nothing here, sir.
Baloo!
I'm going, Colonel! Confound it, soldier! That's a fish! Whoopsie! Disgraceful uniform.
Colonel! This log can't possibly support your weight!
Bold and dash! Why, my dear boy, back in '88, in service to the crown, I found myself straddling a...
Not again.
Well, don't make thieves like they used to. Got him! Got him right here! Disguised as a panther, Baloo!
It's me, Hearty! Put me down! Sorry.
Don't turn me in, little guy. I just want to see my bear cub.
I won't. I miss Mowgli too. This way, quick!
Hey, thanks, kid. You're all right.